I think might be the best ever experience I did of my entire career so far. I just stopped for a minute and I was like, wow. I embarked with a girl band. We visited Asia a lot. We traveled a lot for 5 years, and that's where I really learned all the touring experiences comes from this band. And we had a song on the Just Dance 4. Now I really want to be like closer to me. Like the storytelling is the most, I think the most important part about the music, the journey. The fans are the most important thing. If there's no fans, who am I going to perform for? Like, you know what I mean? I used to take things for granted, and I feel that now I don't. And you kind of have to be prepared for anything. Been to Osheaga almost every year. And now to be on stage, it's insane.
Emi Jean is a Canadian alt-pop artist, and I did mention this before, known for her magnetic energy on stage and raw emotional storytelling. She released her latest project, Razzle Dazzle, and it went viral, by the way. And if anybody knows about virality, that is not easy, obviously. Let's get to this 12-date run across the EU and the UK, which we're going to definitely talk about that. I'm sure there were some football elements in there. She's going to tell us what it was like to do the Osheaga that's coming up, but even more importantly, the Formula One Grand Prix of Canada. She was there at the race ceremony, doing the music, putting on the vibes. Welcome back to the first half here on TSN 690. Now, if anybody was going to be jamming to Toots, it would be you, Emi. That is amazing. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Paul.
Of course.
So excited to be here.
Yeah, I am beaming with excitement. We know each other a long time.
Yes.
We know your partner. We know I know the ecosystem. So I'm very excited to see how from where you were when this sort of started to where you were. I mean, this is, and it's still going. Like, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just juiced up.
That's
I'm just
the goal.
juiced up. Of course, that's the goal. So, Emi, tell us a little bit. I mean, I read out the bio. I read out the Razzle Dazzle, the Euro Tour. We're gonna get into that eventually, but I want to know a little bit more about anybody listening here on the first half. Get a little bit more about you. Where'd you grow up? A little bit of family stuff. You know, nothing too personal, but give us a little something, a little bio.
So I come from a really small town near Quebec City on the South Shore. It's called Saint-Jean-Port-Joli. And when I was younger, I had one vocal teacher in my hometown because, it's small. Yeah. And it was opera. And I started singing with my mom at 7 in bars and clubs. Yes, I was underage. Wow. But I instantly fell in love with music. And I was like, okay, let's go take some lessons with the only teacher in the town. So I started with opera. And then at first I was like, what do I do with this? But then I was able to put it into... I was like 7 when I started with my mom in bars.
Yeah.
Like, we were singing.
So she's a musician as well.
She's a nurse, but she was, she started singing in clubs, in bars, when I was younger because it was just a passion and she was really good. I'm getting this from my mom for sure. Like, not my dad. Sorry, Dad.
Pops.
Sorry, Pops. But he's always like, I can't even be on tune
Nothing.
at all. So I started and I fell in love right away with music, and it's a small town, so I played soccer in my hometown. Like, it was really fun, and then I moved to Montreal, and that's where I was just like, okay, I need to keep going, and I embarked with a girl band. We visited Asia a lot.
Really?
Asia, Dubai, Morocco. We played in so a bit everywhere.
Wow. And this was based out of Montreal, the girl band?
Yes, it was based out of Montreal, but we traveled a lot for 5 years, and that's where I really learned all the touring experiences comes from this band. And when we split it, it was really heartbreaking. Like, I was about to quit, but then I decided to just give it another shot. I met my manager, and he was like, I think you should do that. I don't think you should quit. And I was like, who am I as a solo artist? That takes a lot of time to kind of find your sound and your voice and all that, what you want to say, your message. So I feel that took a long time, and now we're here. So it was worth it.
Is the going into that transition into being a solo artist and then trying to figure out who you are as that solo artist, does that become you as a person and then you as the act because it's the same thing? Or is it, if you get my drift, like, is the music, is Emi Jean on stage and socials and the story one person, and Emi in the street or watching a game or having dinner
Yeah.
as a different person?
I'd say it's very close. My goal
Okay.
is to be authentic and really be myself.
Yeah.
I feel that with the girl band, I wasn't exactly me. That's why I wanted to go back to my like youth and what I love. I feel that like in the girl band, I was like, I had like red hair and I was like this girl. It was more of a pop vibe. Now
Okay.
I'm really more alt pop. So I feel that like it's now I really want to be like closer to me, to be authentic, and that's what I want to. Yeah.
Ah, cool. So, brothers and sisters.
One brother.
One
Yeah.
brother. So you did mention a little bit of football. Remember this
So,
is. I
soccer or
told you, yeah,
football?
soccer,
I was-
soccer.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, but I'm confused, like because I have I have a lot of friends in Europe,
Okay.
and of course it's football.
That's right.
So I was just debating. I was like, should I say soccer
no
or
debate.
football
No,
here?
you can. First of all, you can say whatever you want here.
Okay, that's good. Thank
Whatever you
We're
want,
safe
except for
here.
swearing.
Yes.
This is a trust tree. We have no problem, right, Luca? We have no problem with soccer or football. There's no issue with that.
What do you say?
Well, I call it football.
Perfect.
But I also drop soccer because it actually doesn't matter. Like
Perfect.
it honestly doesn't matter.
That's a good deal. I'm on board.
It's a ridiculous debate because the origins are the same time and the same length, and it all comes from England. Like it's the same story.
That's it.
Okay, so that being said, I did warn you that I have to talk a little bit of
Yes, of
little
course.
soccer and football.
Of course.
And you said, I was playing it as a kid. So being from this small town, which is interesting in itself, being here in Quebec, there was soccer. I bet,
Yes.
which is great because if you think about it, wouldn't it just been maybe American football or definitely hockey for sure.
Yeah.
So where did the soccer connect come from? Was it just natural? Oh, I like this, or was mom and dad pushing towards it, or family,
It's
or
really
friends?
me and my cousin, and it's funny because it was it's a small town, so we were playing with the boys. There was not a girls' team,
Yeah, of course.
So it was like challenging for us, but like my cousin and I were like the only girls playing, I think, in the team.
That's cool.
And I played like a little bit, and I think that's where I learned discipline and teamwork.
Yeah.
I feel that's like so important in music as well. So I feel that's
Yeah.
super linked. I mean, like an athlete and an artist is so similar. It's kind of the same struggle
A
and all
professional
that.
athlete.
Yes,
Yeah.
like so for me, I think I learned teamwork, and I really like my experience, but I switched to music quickly.
Quickly. Yeah, well, that's amazing. I mean, trying to, as a 7-year-old, sort of getting taught within the operatic energy must have just been also in itself just crazy. Like
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
like, it's like, what? Totally nuts. The similar, again, what's important here on the first half, and we love this too, is that we're talking about culture, but music has such a heavy influence on sports, definitely on football, but on sports. Is that something that you've ever thought about potentially, creating some music that could be played alongside some type of athletic experience, maybe in a stadium, maybe, yeah?
I mean, first, like, stadium is the goal, of
Right.
course. But it's funny, with my previous band, we had a song on Just Dance 4, which is like a dance game. So it's kind of,
Totally.
it's
like,
linked.
Kids love that.
And I feel that my songs are really cinematic. So sometimes I'm like, ooh, that could be like in a video game,
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's super close to
Yeah, cool. So
to
so
sports.
all right,
Yeah.
so let's get that done, man. Someone's got to make
Yeah.
this. Someone's got to make
And
this.
actually,
work.
my producer, like, so I work with an amazing producer
Yeah.
back in Toronto, and she did the song for the FIFA in Toronto.
Thank you.
And yeah, so she did this, and Hilko Kritis, and she's amazing. So she that's it. So she is also close to football.
That
like
must have been a huge experience. I told you about that. I want to.
Yes.
I want to ask more questions to her about that too, because that experience in itself must have been quite challenging. We want something, it's representing
Toronto.
Toronto, Canada, the World Cup, FIFA, and I'm sure there were all kinds of parameters to try
Yes.
and build something original in, which could not have been easy. And that's part of storytelling in music. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can tell me that. I don't. No,
Yes.
but it's not for me to
Yeah.
say. But
It
it's
is.
not easy.
No, it is. It is
Right.
totally, but it is the main theme. Like, the storytelling is the most. I think the most important part about the music, the journey. We take you on the ride with us during a show. It's like a roller coaster, and same with an album. So it's kind of a story.
How was touring? Actually, let me ask you F1, and I'm going to get you. I want to
Okay.
ask about Europe. How was the F1 experience? Because when I remember seeing you on TV, I was like, Emi! I was like, Like, that was cool. That's really
This,
cool.
I think, might be the best ever experience I did of my entire career so far. Yes, that was crazy because sometimes like you're in a game, you're so caught up in it and you just don't really be in the present. And I remember that day at one point I was waiting for the set, like I was waiting to go on stage, on the grid actually. The grid was the stage.
That's so cool.
So I was waiting to go on the grid to perform, and I just stopped for a minute and I was like, wow, this is like, I was like, I think I'm emotional. Like, I think this is amazing.
Like,
this
I'm
is
here.
crazy.
I'm about to
here.
do this.
Like in Montreal.
In front of the world.
Yes, exactly.
The
This
world. I know you're performing
yeah.
in front of Montreal, but I want to add that heavy, the world, like whoever's into F1,
Yes.
and even if you're not, you're somehow watching the final. You're watching the final race. You're watching race day.
Yeah, I love F1. I'm a huge fan.
Oh,
yeah.
are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, so even crazier for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was really happy, and it was crazy. Like, it's the first time we were doing this in Montreal.
Is that right?
I believe it's the first time.
Cool.
Yeah, if
Even better.
Yeah, it was just right before the national anthem. I had like tons of dancers with me.
Yeah, so,
and
with
acrobats,
the checkered,
and
like,
yes,
so Canadian
and it was,
too, but
exactly
not.
with the
Yeah,
DJ Fafa Khan and La Compagnie Invisible, like people from Montreal. Like teamwork, that was amazing, and I was just like such an honor. Like, that's crazy.
Did you get a lot of messages from your fans, or even from new fans, or just people in general? Because again, big moments like that tend to sort of turn the needle. Like, it changes things for an artist or somebody in that sphere of a grand visual experience for people around the world.
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
Tell
And I
us a
kind
little
of
bit about
like,
that. Yeah.
we didn't really mention it, really. That was kind of a surprise.
You didn't mention it to your followers that you were doing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was kind of like a surprise. So I feel like people were kind of like, that was it. They were like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, I got a lot of messages.
Cool.
People very proud, and it was
cool. That's cool,
crazy experience. And there's so many artists, like there's crazy artists that are doing it everywhere in the world. So to be doing it in Montreal, just insane.
Okay, so this is new to the F1 experience, meaning all the other races are doing the same sort of thing?
I think it's been on for a lot of other cities.
And
in
first time in
Montreal, that
Montreal.
was kind of the first time.
So is this possibly then you're on Drive to Survive? Then Netflix was maybe shooting
I
it? and you
hope.
don't know?
Oh my God, I'll watch it.
Well, especially if you're into it too,
Yes.
and like all of a sudden you put it on and there you are. This is so cool. Okay, so look, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And then we're going to get into a bunch more stuff. Because I
Amazing.
can't let you go, and then we're gonna even get to 12 questions. So we're talking here on the first half with Emi Jean. Oh man, I'm so happy to have you here. We talked to football, so now we're gonna talk about music, a little more community. We're gonna do a quick commercial break. I want to thank Quincaillerie Notre Dame for serving the community for over 135 years. We have the same songs always in our in these segments. And it never gets tiring. Never. You hear me? My goosebumps are going. That's why I had to ask you a little bit about if you're down with a little Eric B. and Rakim. Okay, now that I put you on the spot and you said the right answer, I wanted to ask you, especially because, again, part of this is relating, sort of you as a professional performer and athletes and sort of the pressure. I mean, you were dealing with pressure quite a lot. How is that? How is it dealing with that type of pressure, either on stage or when you get cornered by a fan in the street? Or, I mean, there's quite a few moments. I've seen you out too where you're very eloquent. You take the time to talk to your fans, but
I love that. Yeah,
they're there
it's
and
very
they're like
important,
right in your face,
Yes.
fast, right? And so, what's that like? I mean, it's got to be and you're a solo. You're the main attraction, right? It's not. Again, with a band or a few people, it's very different. Yeah, a team. The energy can be spread out. It's you or nothing. What's
For me,
that like?
First, it's like the fans are the most important thing. If there's no fans, who am I going to perform for? Like, you know what I mean? So for me, they're the most important thing. If I'm like, I make the music, the message. For me, when I release the song, like it's just like theirs now. It's their song. It's their story. What they've been through. They're living it through the song. So for me, that's the most important thing. And I feel that like when, like for me, they're my friends. Like sometimes I say fans, but I should say my friends. Because like that's why I'm here. Like it's kind of like I'm
That's
I'm
cool.
like teammates with them.
You don't find it doesn't ever get a little overwhelming.
To be honest, first when I was younger, I put a lot of pressure on my performance. I like, you want to do good. It's like a game. You're like, oh my god, tonight I'm gonna be amazing. So I was pressuring myself a lot, and I feel that like when I started to get loose and just chill and be myself and be authentic, that's when I connected the most with fans. And I feel that like, so before I was pressuring myself a lot, and you're like blanking, you're not even present, you're not even there.
You're not there.
Yeah. And now I feel that just like something clicked. And I think it's because I rehearse a lot now. And
You didn't before?
I think I was kind of like,
I got
I'm
this.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy. I rehearse a lot. So it's the same as a match. If you just practice a lot.
You're a professional.
That's it.
That's the difference of you becoming a proper professional.
Exactly.
It's hundreds
You
of hours.
come prepare, and it's 100 of hours, and as much like now I come prepared and I feel good, and now I'm not as like stressed and
That's cool.
I'm more grounded. I feel when I rehearse a lot. So almost every day.
Every day. Yeah, but
If
that's
I can,
but that's part of like you said, that's what it takes to be at the top and to get to where you want to be. And you'll never be I think you're never comfortable. And I think you're never comfortable at the top because you should always want to keep going. And there's always room for improvement. And the moment people think you're set, it's done, I got this,
I
you're
used
in trouble.
to take things for granted, and I feel that now I don't. And you kind of have to be prepared for anything. Sometimes like the music can cut. Sometimes you're like, it's really hot. Sometimes it's freezing, so you have to kind of be ready for anything.
Do you, I don't know if this is trade secrets. I'm allowed to ask this. Sorry, just because you said the music can cut. Do you lip sync, or do you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but no, hold on.
No.
Am I not even allowed to ask this? No, I'm asking is this like totally illegal to ask that question? Have you ever done that, or do you not do that, or that's like the worst thing a musician can do, but do they do it because their throat's sore, they've had a bad day,
For me,